Welcome, everybody. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Yes, awesome, great. So I'll say, make sure your volume is up all the way. I don't have a very loud voice and you might not be able to hear me well at times. So just make sure your volume is all the way up for me. Otherwise you'll get lost. Okay, so welcome everybody. So good to be here today. We're gonna go right into our meditation this morning and remembering that the entire time that we're together, we're practicing mindfulness. And so whether we're here or waiting or in the breakout rooms or back in the big group, we're practicing. So welcome. Get comfortable, whatever that means to you. So if that's sitting, that's fine. If it's lying down, that's okay too. Eyes closed, eyes open. So just finding whatever posture is sustainable, whatever posture allows you to remain still in this moment. And just for a moment, let's check in and just noticing what's here right now. What's present for you at this moment? What's in the mind? What's in the heart? What's in the body? So just tuning in to this present moment, as it is the only moment that we have. If you're noticing a lot of thinking or maybe any strong emotions right now, that's all right. That's perfectly okay. Just becoming aware of whatever is here. Approaching this moment with kind curiosity. And if you're new to the group, welcome. We often sit together just for a little bit, often about 20 minutes or so. And then I do a brief teaching. Then we have the option of going into breakout rooms. That's something that you like to do. And then we all come back here for reflections or questions. So welcome. And let's just take a moment to welcome yourself as well. Welcoming this body in this moment, sitting or lying down here in whatever pose it's in. Knowing that you're welcome here, exactly as you are. All of you is welcome. And taking note of whatever it is that might still be here from the moment before, or whatever might be in anticipation to the next moment. And just noticing that and allowing whatever it is to just really fall into the background for now. It's okay, it can be there. We don't have to suppress it. We don't have to make it go away. Whatever it is that is here is part of the moment, and it's all right. So really becoming aware of it. And whenever you're ready, see if you can just bring all your attention and focus on this body that's sitting here. So maybe bringing your attention to your feet if they're on the ground. Allowing the body to just really safely and gently sink into the chair or the sit or the cushion. Fully supported, completely safe. Checking in for any tension or tightness that I want to let go. And if you like to still stay here, that's okay too. You're just allowing whatever it is that wants to stay here to stay. But if it feels all right to kind of let go of any tension or tightness, and seeing if you can just do that by maybe dropping the shoulders, noticing if there's any tightness on the face, the teeth, the jaw. Allowing for your attention to rest on those points of contact of the body with the chair or the cushion. Whenever you're ready at your own pace, bringing your attention to your breathing and just seeing the quality of the breath. Maybe the breath is flowing fast or slow, maybe deep or shallow. Just really becoming aware of the breath and how the body is breathing in this moment. There's no need to change. There's no need to control the breath in any way. The body breathes all on its own. It doesn't need any help from us. So just allowing it to do whatever it does best while it keeps us alive. All we're doing is paying attention to the breath. That's all. And maybe by now you've noticed that the mind wanders. There might be a lot of thoughts coming in. As a natural process of the mind is just to create thoughts, and that's all right. So seeing if you can bring your attention to the thoughts. You might also notice that the moment we say that, all thoughts kind of disappear. So noticing that, remembering that, even noticing, oh, there's no thoughts, that's a thought in itself. So really just noticing the thoughts, allowing them to pass. And maybe at some point you notice yourself getting caught in a story or taken away by a story. If that were to happen, just gently bringing your attention right back to just watching. And by watching, I just mean becoming aware of the thinking process, the thinking mind. Remembering there's nothing to do right now. There's nowhere to go. We're just sitting here, right in the moment. Now let's give the mind a break from all the thinking and let's see if we can just pause. Just pause from the moment, pause from this thinking right now. The invitation is to maybe taking in a deep breath, if that's possible. Through your nose, breathing in. And now exhaling, long, long exhale. And let's do once again, taking in a deep breath. And long exhale. And just for a moment, let's redirect the attention to the breath, the breathing process now. And seeing if you can notice where you feel the breath the most. Maybe the right nostril or the left or both, or the back of the throat, the chest or the belly. And just for a moment, let's just stay here with the breath, allowing for a pause from all the watching thoughts. And you might notice still many thoughts coming in. That's okay. And just seeing if you can focus your attention on the breath for just a moment as we pause here from watching the thoughts. Just coming back to the breath and allowing thoughts to just kind of go into the background. It's okay if they're there, but it's not the focus now. We're shifting the focus to the breath. And now seeing if you can come back to watching all the thoughts that might be here right now and allowing them to pass, just like the clouds in the sky, noticing them, allowing them to go. And you might notice that they have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then another thought comes up in the same way, beginning, middle, and end. They have a very short lifespan. So a poem by Octavio Paz, Nobel Prize Literature winner, goes like this. It's called Between Going and Staying. And it goes like this. Between going and staying, the day wavers in love with its own transparency. The circular afternoon is now a bay where the world in stillness rocks. All is visible and all is elusive. All is near and can be touched. Paper, book, pencil, glass, rest in the shade of their names. Time throbbing in my temple repeats the same unchanging syllable of blood. The light turns the indifferent wall into a ghostly theater of reflections. I find myself in the middle of an eye, watching myself in its blank stare. The moment scatters, motionless. I stay and I go. I am a pause. I stay and I go. I am a pause. And so as you sit here and contemplate this moment just the way it is, perhaps bringing a sense of gratitude towards yourself for taking this time to be here, to do one of the most challenging things in our lives, which is being with ourselves, paying attention. So bringing a sense of gratitude to the moment, to yourself for taking the time, whatever arrangements you had to make today to be here. And allowing that sense of gratitude to just rest here in this moment. And today I wanted to share with you a story. But before I do that, I think we'll just mention a little bit that we've been contemplating patience lately. We've been working on being more aware of maybe when we're impatient, so we can learn to contemplate a little more patience. And I thought that a good way to do that could be also by pausing, by just taking a pause during the day and noticing whether there's agitation or whether there are any emotions that might be really strong, that might be settling in. And again, the idea is not to suppress anything. The idea is to just allow whatever is there to kind of be there, giving it that space. And then maybe thinking about a best way to respond to the moment for ourselves, for others. And so as we practice patience, I think it's important also to mention that the work we do here with ourselves, the sitting here together, the practicing our mindfulness, is not just for us. We are able to take this into the world. We're able to share this with others by just being in the moment. And so a friend of mine wrote this short story, and I thought it was very fitting. It's about, so I'll give you the setting. The story is about this man by the name Joe. And Joe goes into a coffee shop where there is a guy by the name Bill, who's the barista. A barista is, for some of us that are not English is not our native language, a barista is the person that serves you the coffee behind the bar. So whether you're a Starbucks or any other coffee shop, there's somebody making you the coffee. So his name is Bill. Bill is serving the coffee behind the bar. And Bill has a child by the name of Ronnie. Ronnie is a high school kid. So the story goes like this, okay? Joe walks into coffee box, highly stressed and realizing that he's already late for a morning meeting. He orders an Americano. An Americano is a black coffee, very strong. So he orders an Americano from Bill, the barista, who messes up the order and gives him the wrong drink. Joe tastes the coffee, and he knows that the barista served him the incorrect drink. Feeling stress from the upcoming meeting, Joe decides to, version 1. Joe reacts. Joe decides to yell at the barista for serving him the wrong coffee, which causes the manager to come to the counter to inquire about what happened. After Joe explains what just occurred in an angry manner, the manager apologizes for the mistake, reprimands Bill in front of all the other employees, and gives Joe a free drink. So that night, Bill, the barista, returns home upset and has dinner with his son, Robbie, in which he ridicules his pitching skills on the high school baseball team. So later that night, Robbie picks up his girlfriend, Taylor, who urges him to buy alcohol with a fake driver's license that shows that he's 21. Already feeling troubled and angry from his father's rude comment during dinner, Robbie decides to use the fake ID at a liquor store and also uses Taylor's stolen credit card to purchase beer. So that's version 1. This is Joe reacting. This is Joe being very upset about what happened, and also Bill. This story is called the ripple effect. A ripple is something that continues to spread through events and actions. So that's version 1. Version 2, same setting. Joe walks into the coffee box, highly stressed and realizing that he's already late for a morning meeting that day. He orders an Americano from Bill, the barista, who messes up the order and gives him the wrong drink. Joe tastes the drink, and he knows that the barista gave him the incorrect drink. Feeling stressed and upset, and feeling stressed from the upcoming meeting, he decides to, version 2, Joe takes a pause. Joe decides against expressing his anger toward Bill and thanks him and leaves. Later that night, Bill returns home in a good mood and speaks to his son, Robbie, during dinner, who is an all-star baseball pitcher in Grant High School. Bill tells his son during dinner how proud of him he is and thinks that he is a great pitcher and one day he will be drafted into a major league, into the Major League Baseball. Later that night, Robbie picks up his girlfriend, Taylor, who urges him to buy alcohol with a fake driver's license that shows that he's 21. However, Robbie decides not to purchase the alcohol because he doesn't want to disappoint his father, who just told him earlier that night that he's proud of him. So this is a short story and it only involves 3 people. But we can see how we can involve a lot more, right? Let's say that Joe leaves a coffee shop, he's angry, he drives reckless, maybe causes an accident or cuts somebody off who's trying to get to the hospital. Whatever it is, we can see the ripple effect of this. And so My reasoning for bringing this up is because when we take care of ourselves, we don't only take care of ourselves, we take care of others as well. And so that's why every time at the end of class, I always say, thank you for taking care of yourself and taking care of us. Because everything we do, remember how John always mentions how we interconnect all the time. We are interconnected and we're touching people's lives. And so I thought that was a pretty interesting story that really illustrates the pause, how pausing can make such a big difference, right? And that's going to be our theme today. So as we're moving through patience, I think it could be really helpful to remember to pause sometimes and to see really how we are responding. And if we're not responding, maybe we're just reacting. So it might be interesting to just kind of try that for the week, kind of play around with that idea of just taking a pause, just like Joe did in the second version of the story. Maybe just remembering that our lives are interconnected as well. And when we pause for each other, of course. You know, life is much easier when we have a hold of things, but we also pause for others. So that being said, again, we're going to transition and we're going to move on to